All right, down there at the jail, you have everybody and we're ready to proceed.
We only don't have one person in the room because they're co-defendants. So we're gonna do Jessica last.
Okay, that's good that you told me, so I'll set her stuff aside. That's so many files here, so hold on. Got it. Set hers off to the side so that we can get started. Okay, since we have Ms. Wicks, we'll start with Adam Horner. All right, separate up there. All right. On the record in state of Michigan versus Adam Lee Horner. Appearance, please.
Taylor Wicks, Assistant Public Defender, on behalf of Mr. Horner for purposes of arraignment, who has made application with the Public Defender's Office.
Thank you. And you, sir, are you Adam Lee Horner? Ooh, I got no audio from your end.
How about now?
Yep, I can hear you. Try again, sir. You Adam Lee Horner?
Yes, I am.
All right, thank you. Today is the date for your arraignment. What I have here is a felony complaint. This alleges that on or about November 9th to 2023, Michigan. Count one is possession of methamphetamine. It says you did knowingly or intentionally possess methamphetamine, which is a felony punishable by up to 10 years in prison and or $15,000. Count two is that carrying concealed weapon, that you did carry a dangerous weapon, a sword, whether concealed or otherwise, in a vehicle operated or occupied by you, that being a tan Impala. That is a felony punishable by 5 years or $2,500 with mandatory forfeiture of the weapon or device. I do have a habitual offender fourth offense notice. This says take notice defendant was previously convicted of 3 or more felonies or attempts to commit felonies. And on or about April 12, 2023, he was convicted of the offense of larceny from a motor vehicle in the 30th Circuit Court for Ingham County, state of Michigan. And each time it's the same. It's larceny motor vehicle, Ingham County, same date, larceny motor vehicle, Ingham County, same date. Therefore, defendant is subject to the penalties provided by statute. Life if the primary offense has a penalty of 5 years or more, 15 years or less if the primary offense has a penalty under 5 years. The maximum penalty cannot be less than the maximum term for a first conviction. The court shall order law enforcement to collect DNA identification profiling sample before sentencing or disposition if not taken at arrest. So that means, Mr. Horner, because of the habitual offender notice, that count 1 and count 2 both become a life offense. Do you understand the charges and the possible penalties?
Yeah.
You have the right to have an attorney in this matter. If you cannot afford one, we can see if the public defender will represent you. You have the right to have a trial. That could be by jury. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say orally or in writing will be used against you in court. You have the right to have an attorney present with you during any questioning by law enforcement. Do you understand these rights, Mr. Horner?
Yes.
Ms. Wicks says you're looking to have a public defender main application. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if I'm to understand, are you on probation or parole in any court?
On probation.
Who's your judge for your probation?
Who was it? It was J-Mo.
Okay. Do you know if you were in good standing with your probation before whatever happened in the last couple days?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have an address, or should I use this address on Wilson Avenue?
Same address.
Okay, that's a good address.
Yes.
All right. All right, I will write it down into the file. What's a good phone number to reach you, sir? Okay. All right. It's weird. Ms. Wicks on bond.
Thank you. Mr. Horner does have some prior criminal history as he made representations to court. He is on probation out of the 30th Circuit Court, but to my information, none of his criminal history is similar in nature to these charges. He does have family here in the Lansing area and is a lifelong resident of the Lansing area. I have represented Mr. Horner a fair few times, mostly on traffic things, but on one of those felony cases. And I have never had trouble getting in contact with Mr. Horner. He's always shown up as far as I can remember. So I'd respectfully be asking for a personal recognizance bond for Mr. Horner, understanding that these are serious charges. However, he does enjoy the presumption of innocence and none of them allege any violence. Thank you.
It's hard because the habitual fourth and the life offense, there is a little bit on his criminal history that's somewhat similar, although I don't know the disposition. So we have the delivery of a controlled substance alleged, but back in 2010 with no disposition. And then we have just a marijuana offense in 2009. It looks like nothing else, no other weapons charges that I can see. All right, based on the fact that there was no assaultive behavior on this particular date and the criminal history does not show any violent offenses, I will grant a $15,000 personal recognizance bond. The conditions of your release, Mr. Horner, though, you must follow include, you must show up for all of your court dates. I guess I better tell you what those are right now. I can find them in my paperwork. Oh, here. So we have 2 court dates for you. That's going to be probable cause conference, November 22nd at 1:30, and that's going to be with me, Judge Buchanan. And then you're going to have a preliminary exam on November 30th at 9:30. That'll also be with me. The first one you can do by video conference if you like, just like we're doing now. But if you can't video conference, you should come down to the court. There's no excuse for missing your court date. As I've told you, if you can't video conference, come in person. The second court date on November 30 is an in-person hearing because evidence and witnesses may be presented. Let me explain that. Preliminary exam is a date where the prosecution must bring some evidence to demonstrate probable cause to believe these felonies occurred and probable cause to believe that you're the person who committed these felonies. So that's why you have to come in person on November 30. Okay, additional conditions of release. You are not to leave the state without permission, do not commit crimes, notify the court in writing if you change your address or telephone number. You must report to pretrial services your first business day after you're released. So they're closed today. So first business day, if you got released today, would be Monday. You should get a brochure there from the jail. It has a phone number on it. You can call them or go in person. Do not use alcohol, marijuana, or illegal controlled substances. Do not possess or purchase a firearm or dangerous weapon while on bond. Do you understand your bond conditions, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand your court dates?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Wicks, anything else I need to cover with Mr. Horner today?
No, thank you.
Okay. All right, Mr. Horner, remember, report to pretrial, show up for court, stay out of trouble. We'll be seeing you. First court date is November 22nd.
All righty.
All right.